what do you think are your three biggest accomplishments as a lawyer till now?
Oh, as a lawyer.
Or as a lawyer or in this lifetime.
All right. So I think I would say, so just to give everybody a perspective and just a small background of the journey that I have had. So what I do currently, I started doing on a full-time basis in 2019. Before that, my experience has been very varied, and throughout it has covered a lot of things on the law in the legal spectrum. So from legal journalism to litigation to corporate litigation to actually trying my hand at legal tech, trying to develop a platform which we did together, and also getting into gender law compliance, right? So I continue doing that. I work with organizations to implement the POSH Act framework, which is the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace framework as well. And I think for me personally, what worked and what I understood was that, you know, you need to go a little with certain years, you need to go a little niche, especially if you want to practice as a lawyer. You need to find your area. You need to find that one area or two areas which make you want to learn more about it. It's not just, you know, you can't just do the daily hustle of jo work assign kar rahe main wohi karunga sort of thing, but you need to go beyond that. And for me, that worked with respect to gender laws and with respect to tech, because intuitively I understand it better, and that's something that I saw. So I think one of the things was to understand and identify for myself what works, and what works was these two niche areas work for me really well because of my personal interest in them and my understanding in them. Secondly, when I started working, I think with respect to accomplishment, if I would say, was the fact that, you know, you grow with your clients. I think that's something that I would say worked very well for me, because I would say we can always say I was at the right place at the right time, but the kind of people that I grew up working, like I grew with in terms of the clients that I have, and as we said, right, these are people, for example, I work with a B2B SaaS company which works in the advertisement space. Okay, so if you see the notifications on your websites, when you go and visit any website, they tell you to allow or block notifications, the advertisements that you get. I work with one of the companies that does exactly that at the back end, right? So they started in 2016, and now and I've continuously worked with them. I'm still working with them, and now they have expanded. They are working with multiple jurisdictions. They're working in US, they're working in Middle East, they're working in India, they're working in Europe. I'm doing the privacy compliance for all the jurisdictions. So it's like, you know, you have to also somewhere see that. Like Ramanuj had said, like, you know, you can't say no to the way the world is evolving, especially with respect to tech, is such that you should never say no to anybody. Like, you should do like, if you identify somebody who's developing some tech platform, developing something, and they've come to you for help, even I would go to the extent that even if they can't pay you for the first couple of work, do it and understand the work that they're doing. Because for you to learn from what the company is doing and what exactly, where do you fit in the work, that's very important, right? And the third thing I would say is the fact that, you know, I don't know how to put it as an accomplishment or not, but I think my last 3 years as a running a niche tech advisory, I think that is something that I would call it my biggest accomplishment, because as you rightly pointed out, that question came to me all the time. Are you setting up a law firm? Are you, like, what is the intent here? And I had thought about it long and hard, and I realized that I don't want to set up a law firm. That was never my intent, and that's not going to be my intent. But what I want to do is run a niche advisory practice. And it could be that my team could be, let's say, 5 people or up to 10 people. But the idea is not to expand into a firm. The idea is to do niche advisory practice in tech and data privacy and data security, and where I can plug in with companies. And also my biggest want is that I run a remote practice. And that's something that has been very, very important for me. That's something that I've identified for myself. So once I identified that it's going to be remote niche advisory practice, then I want to keep it efficient. I want to keep the system efficient.
How many people do you have now?
So I have 2 full-time associates right now, and I keep taking interns from time to time. But it's right now it's like the practice is that.
Right. I heard that you have hired people.
Yes, I did. And I also, like, one interesting thing that came out because of I was working as an independent resource is something that honestly I didn't think about, but to give you a food of thought, because I'm independent and I'm an independent resource who specializes in a certain area, I'm being called as an off counsel for various firms now. So I am right now currently working as an off counsel for 3 law firms, okay, based because they have consulting work in data privacy, but they don't have a full-time person, neither do they want to hire a full-time person, but they know I'm an independent resource person, so they're taking me and they are giving me work as an off counsel. That was a new area, that was something that was not expected, but that made me realize why to join a law firm or why to even expand as a firm when firms are coming and hiring me as a expert and give me consulting gigs. Then I don't really need to set up a law firm, and I can go beyond that structure for myself.